I never thought my own blood could betray me, but here I am, piecing my life back together after my son tried to erase me. On my 62nd birthday, I expected a hug, maybe a slice of cake. Instead, I got a suitcase and a one-way ticket to a nursing home. If you think betrayal comes from strangers, wait until it's the person you raised. Stick with me, and I'll tell you how I clawed my way out. Where are you reading from? Let me know in the comments. They say a mother's love never quits, patient, forgiving, endless. I lived that truth. Every fever, every school play, every late-night worry, I was there for my son, Ethan. I'm Ellen Harper, and this is how my world unraveled. That birthday morning in Toledo, Ohio, I woke up hopeful, my little house quiet but warm with expectation. Ethan hadn't called much lately, work stress, he said, trouble with his wife, but I was sure he'd show. I made his favorite blueberry pancakes, set out 2 plates, and waited. By noon, I was still alone. My phone stayed silent. I checked it again, rereading old texts just to feel him near. At 2 p.m., the doorbell chimed. There he was, Ethan, with that half-smile he always wore when he needed something. Happy birthday, Mom, he said, handing me a cheap bouquet from the grocery store. I hugged him, ignoring the ache in my chest. You came? Of course, he said, his pat on my back stiff. Get dressed. I made lunch reservations. I didn't question it. I grabbed my coat, a small purse, and shoes that pinched but looked sharp. I felt young, excited, like I was headed to something special. But we didn't drive toward any restaurant. Instead, we pulled into a long driveway lined with bare trees. I saw the sign, Maple Grove Senior Living Facility. My stomach dropped. Ethan, what is this? He cleared his throat. Mom, we need to talk. It's not safe for you alone anymore, with your memory issues. Memory issues? I snapped. What are you talking about? He kept going, calm, like he'd rehearsed it. I found a great place. It's safe, comfortable, with people your age, activities. I laughed, sharp and bitter. You're joking. You brought me here on my birthday? He stepped out of the car. Let's go inside. I wouldn't budge. Then he opened the trunk. My suitcase was there, already packed. I stared, frozen. You went through my things? Don't make this harder, he said, his voice flat. Inside, the place smelled of bleach and overcooked carrots. Smiling staff, sterile walls, and Ethan handing over papers, legal papers. Power of attorney, my name, his signature. Done. I didn't cry, not yet. They led me to a beige room with a hard bed and a window facing a brick wall. My birthday gift. I sat there, coat still on, the bouquet wilting in my lap. No cake, no laughter, just silence. That night, I lay awake, the mattress stiff, the sheets chemical sharp. Nurses rustled down the hall, a TV droned somewhere. I replayed every moment with Ethan, searching for clues I'd missed. All the times I bailed him out, loaned him money, made excuses when he drifted away. I loved him too much to see it. But lying there, something broke in me. I wasn't his mother anymore. I was his problem, and he'd solved me. The next morning, a nurse handed me a tray of gray oatmeal. Your son took care of your phone, she said. Said it confused you. My line was disabled. That's when it hit me, this wasn't care. This was a cage. They thought I was frail, forgetful, done. But I wasn't. Not even close. I stopped eating, not to protest, just because the food, and the truth, churned my stomach. Being treated like you're useless breaks something deep, something you can't name. The nurses were kind enough, calling me sweetie or hon, but it felt like pity. No one asked who I was before, what I loved. To them, I was just another old woman in slippers, fading away. My roommate, Clara, slept all day, snoring through the night. When she spoke, it was about kids who never visited. I listened, knowing that ache too well. I tried to stay sharp, did crosswords from the hallway, watched news in the common room, reread a worn novel. But I was sinking, the walls closing in. On day 4, I met Jasmine. She was a young nurse, filling in for someone sick, her braids tucked under a scrub cap. While checking my vitals, she looked at me, really looked. "You don't belong here," she said. I blinked, startled. She smiled. "No offense, lots of folks need this place, but you? You're not lost." My eyes stung, but I held it together. We talked. I told her about Ethan, the betrayal, without breaking down. She listened, not just nodding, really hearing me. Later, Jasmine slipped back in. "This was Mr. Carter's," she whispered, handing me a lottery ticket, yellowed, dated 2 weeks back. "Found it in his Bible. No one claimed it." I laughed, dry. "You think I should try my luck?" She winked. "The world owes you." I didn't think much of it, but that night, restless, I snuck to the lounge's ancient computer. I typed in the numbers, my hand steady. The screen loaded. I stared. $8 million. I checked again, heart pounding. It was real. I printed the confirmation, folded it tight, and hid it in my bra. Fear hit, not joy. If Ethan found out, I was done. I pulled Jasmine aside the next day. "I need a lawyer, someone discreet." She didn't pry, just nodded. She knew a volunteer attorney, Michael, who helped seniors with wills. He came that Friday, young, sharp, no nonsense. In a cramped break room, I slid him the lottery printout. "Can you help me disappear?" His eyebrows shot up, but he didn't flinch. "We'll need to move fast," he said. "Paperwork, notarizations, a blind trust to hide the money, a new phone, a temporary address." Michael made it happen. I signed a will leaving everything to charity, undisclosed for now. Ethan had stolen my life once. He wouldn't get another shot. Jasmine hugged me the night I left. "Don't forget us when you're free," she whispered. I slipped out before dawn, in borrowed clothes, a duffel with just essentials. They thought I was broken, but I was a ghost now, with $8 million and a plan. The bus out of Ohio was cold, quiet. I sat in the back, hood up, clutching my bag. Freedom didn't feel sweet, it felt sharp, like a blade I wasn't sure how to wield yet. The bus dropped me in a small Tennessee town, far enough from Toledo that Ethan's shadow couldn't reach. I wasn't Ellen Harper anymore, not on paper. Michael had set up a trust under a new name, and I bought a plain brick house, nothing fancy, just quiet. No neighbors too close, no cameras, just a crooked mailbox and silence that let me breathe. But freedom came with a catch, fear. Every creak in the floor, every passing car, made me wonder if Ethan knew. If he found the $8 million, I'd never be free. I lived like a ghost those first days. Cooked eggs and toast, walked to the mailbox, sat on the porch wrapped in a quilt. I checked the news constantly, half expecting my name in bold: "Missing woman wins millions, son claims she's unstable." Nothing yet. I hid the lottery ticket in a fireproof box under the hallway floorboards, next to my new will, a burner phone, and a note: "If you find this, don't trust Ethan Harper, just in case." One morning, a knock startled me. I froze, heart hammering. Through the window, I saw a delivery guy with groceries, part of Michael's setup. Still, I checked the locks twice after he left. Paranoia was my new roommate. That afternoon, I got reckless. Made a fake Facebook profile and searched for Ethan. His page was public, his smile smug in his profile picture. His latest post read: "Asterisk if anyone's seen my mother, Ellen Harper, please call me or Toledo police. She's been missing for days. We're worried." Asterisk comments piled up, prayers, condolences, people calling him a saint. I laughed, bitter, tears burning. They didn't know. The photo he used gutted me. It was from my 60th birthday, me in a red sweater, him with his arm around me, both of us laughing. We looked happy. How easy it is to fake love in a picture. That night, I couldn't sleep. I remembered every time I gave Ethan money, every emergency he had, every lie I swallowed. He'd say, "You already told me that, Mom," when I hadn't, or "You're forgetting things lately." I thought I was slipping. It wasn't me. It was him, planting doubts so he could control me. I called Michael on the burner. "Update my will," I said. "Ethan gets nothing. Not a dime, not a memory." "Done," he said. "You're safe now, Ellen." But I wasn't. Not yet. Something was coming, I could feel it. Then it arrived, a plain envelope, no return address, mixed with junk mail. Inside, a photocopied loan document from 12 years ago, my signature, my late husband David's, and Ethan's. A $20,000 personal loan from a real bank, notary stamp and all. I'd never signed it. Never. I dug through the fireproof box, pulled out old financial records Michael had salvaged. 3 more forms, all with my signature, all fake. My hand shook. Ethan had been stealing from us for years. It explained David's stress before he died, the cancelled trips, the bad investments. I blamed the market, age, luck. It was Ethan, siphoning money while playing the perfect son. I didn't cry. I got to work. For 3 days, I dug deeper. Ethan had forged loans using David's social security number and mine. One active account, defaulted 3 months before he dumped me at Maple Grove, had ballooned to $80,000. My name, my debt. I sat in the dark, laptop glowing, knuckles white. This wasn't just betrayal. It was theft, fraud, a crime. I called Michael. Forged documents. Loans. Ethan did it. "I believe you," he said. "Press charges?" "Not yet," I said. "I want him to sweat first." I started collecting everything, every document, email, bank notice Ethan ever sent. I contacted our old bank, used a legal pretext Michael drafted, and got records. Piece by piece, it came together. Ethan had taken a $100,000 line of credit against a catering business David and I ran in the 80s, still technically active. He signed it in David's name, 2 years after David died. Federal fraud. I saved it all, encrypted, printed copies, stored them under the floorboards. If Ethan was desperate, and I knew he was, he'd come for me soon. Have you ever realized you never knew the person you loved most? That's what it felt like, scrolling through proof that my son, the boy I sang to sleep, was a liar. A dangerous one. Then I found the worst. With Michael's help, I accessed a public database. Ethan Harper, under federal investigation for tax fraud, embezzlement, and identity misuse. My name was in the redacted file. He'd filed fake tax returns in my name for 3 years, pocketing refunds. I had no idea. It hit me like a punch. Ethan didn't just dump me in that facility out of convenience. It was containment. He needed me silent, confused, gone, because the feds were closing in. I paced my living room, heart racing. He'd used my identity like a tool, and when the heat got too close, he locked me away. I wasn't a loose end anymore. I was the one unraveling his lies. I didn't call the cops. Instead, I documented every lie, every loan, every forged signature. I printed them, filed them, labeled them by date. I recorded audio notes, not because I'd forget, but because I wanted my voice to outlast me if Ethan got to me first. Then I mailed a copy of everything, anonymously, to the Department of Justice. Not to strike yet, but to plant a seed. If I disappeared, they'd know where to look. Still, I felt him watching. A car parked too long down the road. A man knocked, claiming he was selling cable. I didn't open the door, just watched, phone in hand. Every noise made me jump. I called Michael again. Finalize the trust. The will, too. Lock it tight. We did it under my new name, layers of legal walls. If Ethan tried to claim anything, he'd hit a dead end. But the fear didn't stop. At night, I'd remember Ethan as a kid, his giggles, his scraped knees, the way he clung to me. How did I miss the moment he turned into this? Then came the letter. Plain envelope, Ethan's sharp handwriting. One sentence, "I know what you did, and this isn't over." I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was him, arrogant, always thinking he'd win. I tucked it in my evidence folder. Ethan was doubling down. He'd launched a public sob story, posting online, giving local news interviews. "My mom's missing, she's not well, I'm so worried," playing the saint while painting me as unhinged. I wasn't running anymore. I was ready to fight. Ethan's campaign was in full swing. News segments ran nightly, "Missing mother, son's desperate plea." He cried on camera, voice breaking, saying I was confused, vulnerable, maybe manipulated. Strangers ate it up, flooding his posts with sympathy. I watched from my Tennessee hideout, jaw tight, fury building. He wasn't just lying, he was rewriting me, turning me into a frail old woman who needed saving. But I wasn't helpless. I was planning. A certified letter came from the Toledo courthouse. Ethan had filed to have me declared mentally incompetent. My hands shook as I read. He included statements from a neighbor I barely knew and his old buddy, claiming I'd been erratic for a year. There were audio clips too, my voicemails, edited to make me sound unhinged, rants from lonely nights cut to paint me as crazy. Worst, a letter from a psychiatrist I'd never met, saying I was paranoid, a danger to myself. He wanted my accounts frozen, my trust seized, me dragged back. I couldn't breathe. I called Michael that night. He came over, read the papers, face grim. "We've got work to do, Ellen. Stay sharp. They're betting you'll panic." I nodded, numb but focused. We got to it. Michael brought in a litigator, Karen, who was like a bulldog with a law degree. We gathered proof, financial logs showing I'd managed my money, call records from my burner, a journal I'd kept since leaving Maple Grove, every entry clear, dated, sane. Karen arranged an independent psych evaluation. Dr. Susan Grant came to my house, spent 3 hours asking about my life, David, Ethan. I told her everything, no tears, just truth. When she left, she squeezed my hand. "You're sharper than most people I see, Ellen." The internet started to shift. Ethan's story had cracks. People online asked why I hadn't reached out, if I was really unstable, or if something else was going on. The media loves a twist, and Ethan was feeding them a lie. I stayed quiet, but I prepared. I recorded a video statement, just in case. Sitting in my living room, I looked at the camera and said, "I'm Ellen Harper, 62, of sound mind. My son betrayed me, and I'm not hiding anymore." I didn't post it. Not yet. I needed to be ready if they tried to silence me. The courthouse loomed like a bad memory. I'd been there years ago for a speeding ticket, back when I was just a mom who believed in second chances. Now I was the accused. Michael told me to dress strong, not flashy. I wore a dark green coat, David's old watch, sensible heels that clicked with purpose. Ethan was already there, standing as I walked in, his face a mask of fake concern. He smiled, but I saw the calculation in his eyes. He thought he'd win. The judge, a tired-looking man, called the case, in the matter of Ellen Harper's mental competency. Ethan's lawyer, a slick guy with a loud tie, went first. He spun a story, I'd vanished, acted erratic, might be under someone's thumb. He played the audio clips, my voice sounding frantic, lost. He showed the psychiatrist's letter, fake as it was. The judge's eyebrows went up. My hands gripped the chair. Then it was my turn. I stood, steady, and walked to the stand. "Your Honor, I'm Ellen Harper. I'm not confused, not manipulated, not incompetent." I handed over Dr. Grant's report, signed, certified, stating I was fully sound. Ethan's lawyer shifted in his seat. I kept going, calm but firm. "I have financial logs, call records, a journal proving I've been in control since I left the facility my son forced me into." I paused, holding up a second folder. And I have more, but I'll save it for now. I didn't show the file of Ethan's crimes, not yet. That was my weapon, and I'd use it when the time was right. Instead, I looked at the judge. My son put me in a nursing home without my consent, took my phone, my freedom. Now he wants my life. Don't let him. The room was dead quiet. Michael's eyes met mine, steady, proud. The judge leaned back, tapping the report. I need to review this. We'll reconvene in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Ethan tried to catch my eye as we left, but I didn't give him a glance. His fists were clenched, his mask slipping. I walked out, head high, Karen and Michael beside me. The fight wasn't over, but I'd drawn first blood. That night, I sat in my living room, the silence heavy. I wasn't just defending myself anymore. I was building something bigger, something Ethan couldn't touch. And I was just getting started. Ethan didn't wait a day to escalate. The news doubled down, son fears for missing mother's safety. He leaned into the camera, eyes wet, voice soft, claiming I was being exploited, not thinking straight. Social media lapped it up, calling him a hero. I watched from my Tennessee house, anger sharpening into focus. He was building a cage with lies, but I was already slipping through the bars. I called Michael. It's time, I said, handing him the envelope with every damning document, forged loans, fake signatures, tax returns in my name. Send it to the Department of Justice. Anonymous. He flipped through the pages, nodded. This'll hit hard, Ellen. I wasn't done. Using a new alias, I donated $5 million to a nonprofit fighting elder financial abuse. No name, just the money. Within days, they launched a campaign, my story at its heart, though they didn't know it was me. The internet buzzed, why's the son so eager to control her? Something's off, A journalist, Lisa, reached out to Michael. She'd sniffed out the cracks in Ethan's tale and wanted my side, promising no names, just truth. I met her in a diner 2 towns over, hat low, voice steady. I told her about Maple Grove, Ethan's betrayal, the phone he took, the life he stole. Not the lottery, not yet. He's trying to bury me, I said. The story ran, mother or manipulated? The fight for Ellen H. people started asking questions. Ethan's saintly mask wobbled. 2 days before the second hearing, Michael got a call. The DOJ had my file and opened a case on Ethan. He didn't know, but his castle of lies was burning. The courthouse felt colder this time, the stakes heavier. Ethan walked in, less cocky, his lawyer whispering fast. I sat with Michael and Karen, my folder ready, my nerve steel. I wasn't the prey anymore. Michael went first. Your Honor, we have a full psych evaluation proving Mrs. Harper's competence, financial logs showing her independence, and public records confirming Ethan Harper is under federal investigation for fraud, including identity misuse. He slid the case docket across. Ethan's lawyer jumped up. Irrelevant. The judge shut him down. Sit. Dr. Grant took the stand, calm, clear. Ellen is sharp, deliberate, emotionally sound. No basis for incompetence. Ethan's knuckles whitened. Then Michael dropped the timeline. Ethan's grab for my accounts lined up perfectly with his business's collapse and shady withdrawals. Coincidence? Michael asked, voice cutting. The judge's eyes narrowed. Ethan stood, voice shaky. My mom's not herself. She's being used, confused. This isn't her. I couldn't stay quiet. I stood, faced him. I am her, Ethan. I'm the mom who worked double shifts for your school fees, who forgave every lie. You left me in a facility like trash. I turned to the judge. He took my freedom. Don't let him take my voice. The judge leaned forward. Mrs. Harper, based on the evidence, the evaluation, and the petitioner's inconsistencies, I dismiss this case. Your autonomy and accounts are restored. You are competent and independent. My hands trembled, but I held steady. Ethan's face was stone, his eyes wild. He knew he'd lost this round. I walked out, Michael and Karen beside me, the weight lifting just a fraction. That night, the DOJ call came. Ethan's name was officially on the docket: wire fraud, identity theft, tax evasion. The media caught it by morning: son and elder case faces federal charges. My name stayed out, but the dots connected. Ethan's world was crumbling, and I wasn't hiding anymore. I was rewriting the story, and this time I held the pen. Ethan's arrest wasn't loud, no sirens, just headlines. Son indicted, fraud, theft, betrayal. I read it over morning tea, my cat purring beside me. The Tennessee house was quiet, the refrigerator humming softly. I'd pictured this moment so often it felt familiar, but not triumphant. It was empty. Surviving betrayal doesn't make you whole, it makes you harder, wiser, but it kills something soft. I didn't mourn that softness. I buried it. The news spread fast. Ethan was out on bond, money buying him time, but his life was unraveling. Clients ditched him, his credit dried up, his wife filed for divorce. He was alone, just like he'd left me. I should have felt justice, but it was just a hollow ache. I turned off the TV, cooked breakfast, watched birds in the yard. Life went on, but I wasn't done. I called Lisa, the journalist. I'm ready to go public, I said. On camera, no hiding. We set it for Friday, national news. I wore a plain gray sweater, small earrings, no makeup, just me. In a soft-lit studio, Lisa asked, "Why now, Ellen?" I looked at the camera. This isn't just my story. It's for every parent discarded, every elder silenced under the guise of love. I was almost erased. I won't be quiet. I told it all: the nursing home, the lottery ticket, Ethan's lies, the DOJ file. Lisa's eyes teared up, but I stayed steady. The interview aired that night. Millions watched. Messages flooded in, strangers sharing their own stories of abandonment, survival. I wasn't just Ellen Harper anymore. I was their voice. Ethan stayed silent, but his devastated act didn't hold. His world collapsed under his own lies. I didn't gloat. Instead, I started the Ellen Project, a foundation to protect elders from abuse, legal help, hotlines, real change. I poured $3 million into it, hired attorneys, partnered with care facilities. If they'd used my name to strip my dignity, I'd use it to give dignity back. The pain lingered, not for Ethan's fall, but for the love I'd lost. I'd raised him, sacrificed everything, yet he'd chosen greed. One night, a letter came, slipped under my door. A photo from my 60th birthday, me laughing, Ethan holding the cake knife. On the back, his handwriting, *, you always believed in me. I'm sorry, *, I stared at it, remembering the boy who'd clung to me, the man who'd hugged me when David died. I loved him once. But love needs truth, and he'd chosen lies. I burned the photo in the fireplace, not out of anger, but to let go. I went back to Maple Grove one morning. Jasmine ran out, hugging me tight. "Ellen, you did it." Inside, the place was brighter, new books, better coffee, a real sense of life. I visited Clara's old room, now a cozy lounge. Residents nodded at me, no longer invisible. I spoke in the activities room, cookies on tables, chairs full. I'm not here because I won, I said. I'm here because I was silenced, and I know you feel it too. You're not a burden. You're not forgotten. You're not done. The room clapped, soft then loud. I smiled, the weight of those lonely nights replaced by something warm. Back home, I finalized the Ellen Project. It would be national, relentless, a shield for those like me. Ethan took a plea, 10 years. I returned his last letter unopened. That door was shut. On a snowy January morning, I wrote a letter to myself. By the fireplace, cat at my feet, I read it aloud, *, Dear Ellen, you weren't weak or too trusting. You loved deeply, And when they tried to erase you, you wrote your own ending. I'm proud of you. Love yourself. I tucked it in a wooden box on the mantel. I didn't need revenge or riches. I had freedom, hard won and mine. For the first time I was truly free.